How's it going, pilots? My name is Jacobin, and today we're diving into the fundamentals of flight for racing in Star Citizen. Whether you're aiming to shave seconds off of your lap times or just looking to get an edge in competitive racing, understanding the intricacies of the flight model is crucial. Star Citizen's flight model is incredibly detailed and complex, with nuances that can make or break your performance on the track. By mastering these details, you can unlock new levels of speed, control, and precision. In this video, we'll go over the key techniques that will help you push your ship to its limits, ensuring you stay ahead of the competition. So let's get started. Before we start, I would recommend checking out my previous video about the keybinds and settings that you need to prepare your ship for racing. I will leave a link for that in the description. First up, I want to touch upon the topic of coupled versus decoupled flight. Understanding the difference between the two will help improve your ship's performance. When you're flying in coupled mode, the IFCS automatically triggers all of your thrusters to cancel out your momentum. This means that during a turn, the ship's thrusters are constantly firing to catch your momentum. Because of this, you lose the ability to fully manipulate the aerodynamics of your ship. Another downside of coupled mode is the fuel consumption. Because more thrusters are engaged to manage your momentum, you end up burning significantly more fuel. This can be a critical factor in longer endurance races, where conserving your fuel can be the difference between finishing strong or running dry before the end. In the comparison here, you can see how in coupled mode, all thrusters are engaging to preventing the ship from drifting, and in doing so, significantly cuts down the speed at which you can leave the corner. In decoupled mode, you are able to carry more speed by controlling the thrust input yourself and using the aero of the ship as a brake instead of the thrust. Next is the TVI. This is one of the most important elements of racing in Star Citizen. When the TVI is aligned with the crosshair, you're perfectly aligning your ship to fight drag, and thus allows you to accelerate at a much faster rate than if you were to just push the throttle forward. If you let the TVI drop, the drag will attempt to push your ship down, and not only will you lose straight line speed, but you will also have to constantly deal with realigning your ship to keep it straight. You can see in this example how the nose constantly wants to drop and how I have to pitch to readjust myself. Doing so, I'm losing a lot of speed and acceleration. On the contrary, when I align the nose to the TVI, the acceleration is vastly more superior and I am able to reach those higher speeds much quicker. This is one of the most important techniques to learn and master if you want to improve your speed. And for the mouse and keyboard players out there, I wanted to show that this is still possible with keyboard. You just have to play a little game of Flappy Bird to bounce that TVI into the crosshair. As you can see, you can still make use of that increased acceleration. The next thing I want to cover is speed and thrust management. It's very easy to get carried away by the thrill of the speed and just go full send into a corner. While this can be a good practice most of the time, some ships don't generate enough lift to turn that sharp. This causes you to go wide into the turn, which can lead to devastating results if the track doesn't have enough width. This is where we must practice speed and throttle control. If you feel like you keep overshooting the corner or smashing against the wall, ease off the throttle just as you're about to begin the turn, and as you rotate the ship, start reapplying the throttle. Because we're in decoupled, the pitch alone will serve as the aero brake, which will slow us down enough to be able to rotate that nose to the exit of the turn and allow us to maintain the momentum. Lastly, we need to watch out for the stall. As we just learned, sometimes we have to drop our speed to be able to turn our ship in a corner. However, if we drop too much speed or we pitch too harsh, we can lose all lift and be unable to generate the forward thrust to be able to carry momentum and end up in a stall. You will know you hit a stall when the TVI unintentionally shoots off behind the ship and leaves you on a slow drift. This can be as dangerous as overshooting the corner, as you are less likely to be able to recover safely from a stall. To avoid stalling when coming into a corner at speed, always keep an eye on that TVI and make sure to keep it within the cockpit view. Whether that means reducing the pitch angle or feathering more throttle, it is important to keep the TVI in front, as that means that you will still be generating lift and can carry the speed throughout the turn. If you practice these core fundamentals, you will start seeing major improvements in your flying and in your lap times. I will keep building on these techniques in future videos and hope to help a lot of you interested in racing to give it a try and get a feel for why racing is such a thrilling loop. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned something from this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And switch that bell icon so you won't miss when the next video comes out. You can also catch me live on Twitch every Mondays and Thursdays at 8:30 PM CET. And if you haven't picked up Star Citizen yourself yet, I've included my referral link in the description so you can net yourself some extra UEC when starting out. Thank you all so much for watching until the end, and I'll see you guys on the racetrack.